Hi, and welcome to Two Tired Teachers.
Today we are going to be talking to you about something that we know a lot about, and that is long travel days. We left Central Texas less than a week ago, and we are currently 15 miles, 20 miles from Yosemite.
Yes.
And so we've had some long days, and we'll go on and tell you that first day was 555 miles. And so we know
a little bit about long travel days and what to do to pass the time.
Well,
particularly when you're driving across West Texas or southern New Mexico or Arizona.
Southern California, Nevada.
Yeah.
One of the things that we are going to suggest is, personally, I'm a list maker, and weeks out I make lists of things that I can get accomplished beforehand, like making jerky. I can do that and not put that off till the last minute. Or things that getting the oil changed in the van, or changing the oil in the generator. Those kind of maintenance things can be done 2 weeks before, so that we're not having to wait until the week before when we're kind of in that last minute crunch phase to get everything done. And so that is a huge advantage.
And Sharon is our list maker. I ran across some friends before we left, and they said, "Does Sharon have a list?" Yes. "Do you know when we're leaving, when you're going to be going?" "It's soon."
So the next thing that we have is everything we can, we want to get done. So we can get away early in the morning if we can get it done the night before. An example, on this trip, we went on and hitched the trailer and then parked it across in front of our homes. That way, it's one of those things that every one of those things that we get done is one less thing we have to forget, or one less thing that those things add up. They take up time on that day you're trying to get away.
We try to make every stop count. If we're stopping for gas, one of us will wash a windshield while the other one fills up with gas. We'll use the bathroom, get fresh drinks if we need them, and we're back in. We want to walk a little while we're out, because if we don't, we're older women and we won't be able to move.
And that's one of those things that we also have down here, is to hydrate. And one of the main reasons for that is so that you'll
have to stop.
And with our pets, which we don't get them out every stop.
No.
But on that 555 mile day, we had a couple of times where we just stopped at a rest area. We got the pets out, and we planned we're going to be here 15 minutes.
Yes.
The dog and I are going to walk while we're here. Get him out. Let him stretch his legs. Let him do what he needs to do. And so that we just mentally had time to stop.
And the pets aren't in carriers or crates the whole time.
And that helps.
Yes.
Another thing is, if you can, like the night before we left on that trip, Mylena went on and got our lunch made for the next day. She had that already ready, so that at we're just stopping now to fill up with gas, etc. We could get that out, have that. We ate that on the road, so that honestly, when we took that 15-minute break where we were doing nothing, 15, 20 minutes, I could focus on letting the dog move and be out of his crate and get some energy out, so we could make the most use of that time. Another thing we want to talk about on long travel days, and that is make sure you have paper maps with you as well as GPS.
GPS is wonderful and we use it.
We love it, but for one thing, you may be out of cell service range, so your phone may not work as well as you think it's going to.
And, for example, today we were visiting family and they lived in a relatively new area. It wasn't on our GPS in the van. It was our phone, but it wasn't in the van.
And there are times that you're going to get out places and
if it tells you to go what you know is the exact wrong way, it may think you're going somewhere else.
Or, if there's a detour, your GPS may not have the detour marked, and so it's going to keep trying to make you go back to where you came from. So having those paper maps
yes.
That you can check, that's a good thing. And then just to pass time, audiobooks.
Yes.
Now, I love audiobooks.
I like audiobooks,
but we like audiobooks.
Yes.
They help us to pass the time.
Yes.
Okay. Next, make up games. You don't have to buy games. We sometimes, it's just to keep your mind going. We grew up watching the same television shows, so it may be just like name the children from 8 is enough. And we alternate, taking
yes.
turns to see who can name and, go through television shows of what are the characters' names
yes.
or, various things like that. Or what are the lyrics to this song? Or,
there's a game we played when we were kids. It's harder now, but with VW bugs, you would say beaver. When you see one, you get 1 point for any color other than black. Black would take away all your points, and red one was worth 5 points.
So, some sort of games, whatever they are. And some of them it's going to depend on what road you're on. If you're on a road where there's very little traffic, then, just... But anyway, having games that... and for us, sometimes just listening to hits of, the decades and decades before where we're singing along
yes.
is something that can occupy our mind.
Another thing we like to do is we like to break up those long travel days.
When possible, yeah.
We're not going to have a 555-mile day followed by a 555-mile day.
Yeah, we, honestly, our favorite trips have been where when you get there, then all of your destinations are within 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
When we went to South Dakota, once we got there, everything we wanted to see was in a fairly close proximity. You may drive 2 or 3 hours to the next one, and 2 or 3 hours to the next one, and 2 or 3 hours to the... But you didn't have huge long...
Yes.
Same thing with the Mighty Five. Once we got to Natural Bridges National Monument, then going to Canyonlands and then Arches, we didn't have huge long drive days back to back. We do better with the back-to-back drive days at the beginning.
Yes.
We're
not as tired, the pets aren't as tired, and we're not as cranky.
And so having those at the beginning, but the trip we're on right now, we're covering a lot of ground.
Yes.
We made it to Phoenix. We're there for 3 nights, but while we were there, we were gone visiting
yes.
family and friends, and left there, went through Laughlin so we could touch Nevada, to Barstow, and then came up here, and then we're here last night. Today we went down and visited family. Tomorrow we're not going anywhere.
That's right.
We
need a complete down day.
We need a day of not going, not getting in a van, not going anywhere. We need that. And then we're ready to travel a bit more. But limiting those back-to-back days is a good thing. Number 9, whoever has started that trip with you, hopefully they're still with you. Whether it's the pets or the people, however tired you are, they are too.
And a good rule for thumb is to, even though you know you're giving 90% and the other person's only giving 10, you keep giving 90% because chances are that person's going, I give up 90% of the time.
I do 90% of the work, or I do, I cook 90% of the time, or whatever. And so being, especially after those long travel days, trying to be a little bit more patient.
Yes.
And that goes a long way. And then being flexible is the last one. And folks, we're in the midst of flexibility. When we started toward Fresno, California, which is, our relatives actually live in Clovis, they said, now where are you planning on staying? And we told them the name, and they said, that one should be okay. And then
we're not, maybe.
Anyway, so we started looking and saw that this place was just a little bit further, had wonderful reviews, comments, etc. Then we're driving here and we're seeing signs saying how far it is. And like I said, we're just,
40.
Our cousin told us from where we're parked right here, we're less than an hour to Yosemite Valley. Not to the gate, to the entrance, but to the valley. And so we had planned on doing some dispersed camping after we went to Sequoia. Well, we're juggling everything, and we're saying, okay, we're just going to use our 5 nights. They're willing to let us stay here and use this as our dispersed camping for Yosemite. Then we're going to Sequoia. Then we'll come back up and go to the northern entrance. So we're going to see Yosemite from a couple of different directions. But that's evolved as we gotten more information since we got here. And then the last thing, and I really kind of think this is a biggie, and that is, sometimes, especially with long drive days, our focus is, I can't wait until I get there and this is over with. You don't want to be so focused on the destination that you miss the journey.
Yes.
And, if we travel really well together, and if there was something where one of us said, wait, I'd really like to stop and pick oranges at that orange grove or something, the other one would have said, I'm going to take a nap, you wake me up when you get back, or whatever. But I mean, realize that it is a journey, and
don't miss the stuff along the way because you're so focused on your destination.
And so those are kind of our thoughts on things that we try to do to break up those long travel days. And if you have something else, we'd love to hear what it is. So leave us a comment and let us know. Thanks for watching Two Tired Teachers.